Now, Mother's Day is celebrated around the world annually. It is a special thing that cultures set aside to just celebrate the act of motherhood. It is really paying a tribute to the act of birth and to this special person who made the act possible, your mother. On this episode of Family Matters tonight, we want to focus on motherhood, and we are asking you, is there more than feeling great about it? Do we have some expectations that before you become a mother, what we can call them unrealistic expectations? In studio tonight, I want to welcome you to this show with me, Purity Museo, and feel free even on this day to tell us who you are celebrating. I know it's your mother, but what do you remember of your mother, and what has she done special that you would say no one else in this world would be like a mother? Feel free to tweet us at KBC Channel 1 and at Purity_Museo. The hashtag to use for this show is Family Matters KBC. And now help me welcome our special guest tonight. Next to me is Jen Anyango. She is the director of Polycom Development Project, more of women empowerment activist when it comes to matters women empowerment and gender equality. She will be telling us the gap there is when it comes to matters women empowerment currently in the country. Next to Jen is Fanice Muhonja. Fanice is a mother, but a special mother because she is a widow. She is singly raising up her kids after she was left, unfortunately, by her loved one. She will be taking us the journey telling us the journey of widowhood and what are some of the challenges that she is facing currently. Now, next to Fanice, we have a couple, and it's Mary Akoth and David Ochieng. They are a couple, and they are a discordant couple. They are a discordant couple, and this means one of the partners is living with HIV, and that is Mary Akoth. She will be telling us how she is doing it, some of the challenges she is going through as a mother who is living with the virus. And at the same time, David Ochieng, who is really a supportive husband, will be really making you, our viewer, understand why it's just like any other disease and why it's possible to raise your kids together despite the fact that one partner is living with the virus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Family Matters this Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yes, and maybe if I would really ask both of you to tell us who, I know you have mothers out there, who you are celebrating today and what you remember of your mother. Let me start with you, Jen, because you're sitting next to me.
Thank you so much, Purity. I remember my mother. My mother died 2 years ago, unfortunately. But what I remember so much about my mom is the way she used to welcome me anytime I got home, that she would say, you know, let's pray. So that prayerful spirit lives with me. But I want to give a shout to my daughter, Akoth. She just had a baby, so I'm a new grandma. Oh. So I'm a proud grandma. I want to celebrate her, and I want to urge her to be a good mama. Just the way I hope I was a good mama to her.
I hope so too. Fanice, tell us how do you remember your mom?
Oh, I remember my mom every day, because even if I skip 2 days without calling her, she'll call me and ask me, how are you, my daughter?
Oh my goodness.
So I remember her. And I love her so much. Mom Sophia Ongala.
I know she's
I love you so much, Mom. Yeah.
And it's really a good thing to see a mother celebrate their mother. You know, most of the times we feel the young people, we are the one who really recognize who a mother is. But even as old as you may be, a mother will always remain a mom. And we celebrate your mom as well. Mary, how do you celebrate your mom today?
Okay, me, what I can remember about my mom, though she passed to 2002 when I was so young, but she was a good mother to me. She was prayerful, businesswoman, hardworking. She raised us 3 children, 3 girls, and I was very, very proud of my mom.
Thank you so much. David?
Yes, thank you, Purity. I can remember my mom through her prayers when we were young. He used to sell fish and skooma for us to go to school. So I know she's watching now. Big up.
Right, and for me, I also remember my mom because she also passed on, but for me, she made me, when I was little, but with my mom, I thought she was the richest person on this world because I never asked for anything and she failed to give me. So I never understood how she used to provide, but later on I came to understand actually she was not the richest person, but she always tried to ensure that I got what I want and I went to maybe the best place, school, where she thought it was better for me. So Mother's Day is a day that reminds me of her. And we celebrate all the mothers. Honestly, they are great women. And so let's get down to our discussion. When we talk about Mother's Day as an advocate for women empowerment, Jen, what does it mean? Is it all about sharing messages, good love, going out there with them, doing some... How important is this day for women and for anyone who is a mother and for anyone being called a mother and calling someone a mother? How special is this day? Make us understand, you know.
Yeah, Mother's Day is a very, very special day. Mothers are the center of everything. You know, in my community, we believe that, you know, mother, like even the biggest person, when they have a problem, you'll hear them say, you know, oh my, you know, mom, you know, like in my language you say mayo. So it's like it's the mother that you think of first. And when it's the person you think about first, meaning this is a person who controls a lot of things in your life. And celebrating a mother is just reminding ourselves that we have this person who is very special, this person who is guiding us in most of the things we do, and who is always wishing the best for their children. So whether the mother is there or not, or whether, you know, whether someone is not in good terms with the mother, what people are supposed to think about when we are celebrating Mother's Day is that this is someone who is very special, someone who carried you, you know, you were part of her for clean 9 months. It's very tedious to carry pregnancy to term. And then this is the person who cared for you when you knew nothing, just made sure you were okay and everything. So, you know, it's just like an egg, you know. You carry that egg and you make sure it doesn't sleep. So that is the mom, you know. So a mother is someone who is very, very special, and we should all appreciate, you know, no one came from a tree. We all came from some woman. So this day reminds us that, you know, that we have to learn to appreciate where we are coming from.
Where we're coming from. And we have, every mother is different. Every mother is going through their own challenges, you know. And that's why, Fanice, I'll welcome you to our discussion. Just share with us a little bit as a mother, maybe when you got, when did this motherhood journey for you begin, and how was it like for you before we get now to your partner having to now leave you?
Okay. I had my firstborn, it was 1988. Then he passed on. Then in 1990, I got the second born, who is now a big boy. Then we stayed with their father. I had the second, now the second, which is a girl, Luciana. Then a third boy. I have only 3 kids. Then in 2010, 2007, their father began ailing. But then in 2012, he passed on after spending all the money we had through sickness. So,
and you will tell us now how the journey has been like for you being a mother after your husband passed on and left you with raising your kids singly. Let me get to you, Mary. Maybe when did your motherhood journey begin?
I just want to make it clear.
Yes, please.
So ningependa kuongea Kiswahili because
It's okay.
Kuna wenye nimeacha huko nyuma pia wananitazama kwa sahi. Na maybe nikiongea kizungu hawatasikia.
It's okay.
So mimi maisha yangu venye ilianza kukuwa mama. Nilianza kuwa mama 2012. Venye nilijifungua mtoto anaitwa Cheryl Adhiambo. Sahi ako class 1. Nasoma Mombasa, Jocham Academy. And I was so proud. Sababu nilizaa huyu mtoto kama nilishajua hali yangu. Na it was so painful at then because nilikuwa najiuliza, nikizaa huyu mtoto itakuwa aje, na huwa nasikia watu wenye wako positive, ukizaa mtoto hautanyonyesha, ama maybe anaweza kuwa positive. Because at then sikuwa na knowledge sana about what is HIV or what is AIDS. Because mimi story yangu it was so painful. Like 2007 I was raped. And then nikakuja nikajua hali yangu 2008. Nilikuwa na stigma, a lot of stigma. Hata singekaa kwa watu hivi nikiongea. Hata mpaka wa leo nimejua kuna wenye wananitazama wanashangaa. But ni kwa neema ya Bwana. Because hata venye nimekaa hapa nimeokoka kupitia kanisa inaitwa Jesus Flock Ministry. Na mimi maisha yangu venye ilikuja, kama si Mungu enyewe singeweza. Because venye nilijua hali yangu 2008, nilijaribu mpaka kujipoison like 3 times, but I didn't die.
Okay.
Yeah, so nikajiuliza, na hizi vitu zote nafanya si ni mimi najitesa? Na what about ningepelekwa kwa hospitali ya government, ningefunguliwa mashtaka. So nikasema maybe Mungu ako na lengo. So kufika 2009 I met David. By the way, hata ungeniangalia ungejua kama I'm HIV positive. Kuna organization yenye ilinishika mkono because I was so stressed up. Wakaniongelesha wakaniambia hii si mwisho wa maisha.
Okay.
Hao ndio walinipima because walikuwa wanaenda door to door kupima watu. So wakaniambia hapana, hii si mwisho wa maisha. Maisha yako bado inaendelea, inaweza endelea na iendelee. So
wacha nikukatie hapo. Utatuelezea sasa after you found out and then how you met him and then breaking the news and how you took it and how David you still now together with him. But allow me not talk with you right now. Let me get back to Jen. Jen, for you as a mother, maybe you could, because you will be getting the challenges that Fanice, who is a mother, but at the same time she's a widow, what she's going through. They're also going to tell us the kind of challenges they had to go through, especially how they got the baby and how possible it is to live as a discordant couple. But for you as a mother, what are some of the challenges or unrealistic expectations that you had before you became a mother, and then the moment you became a mother you were like, oh my God. First let me ask you, because I'm not a mother yet, is it always a great feeling? You know?
Yeah, oh God. No, okay, I was a teenage mother. So as usual, teenage mothers don't appreciate, you know, they don't really want their babies before they are born, but after they are born they are loved. So it's that great feeling. And where you know, the moment you carry your baby, then that bond begins. Even whether you wanted this baby or not. And this is the challenge most mothers are having, because it's like I'm expecting this baby and I don't really want this baby, and I wish, and then all of a sudden the baby is there and the baby is so beautiful. So the feeling is natural. So these challenges, the challenges are always there. And by the way, I'm also a widow, just 1 year old. But I have 4 children, and I've somehow, my youngest is 15 years old, so my kids are big children. And it is not easy, raising up children. Most children don't understand their parents. I'm also a mother to so many other children. From what I've said before, is that I work with several children. So many children look at their mothers as somehow the enemies, because mothers are the people to tell them when they are not doing the right thing. So, most don'ts comes from mothers. And kids, when they are told off, they are like, maybe mom doesn't like me. So you listen to children mostly, and then it's like, why is she always on my case? So you find a kid whose mother is taking care of everything, who only appreciates the little, the chips and the sweets that dad gives them, but not all these sacrifices that mommy makes. And it's mostly because, they are still young. And most parents do understand, but some parents are very, very bitter because of this, because they feel that their children are disobeying them. Or, mothers, because they sacrifice so much, and they're like, and maybe they're also getting a lot of pressure from the fathers. So they're like, hey, am I their punching bag? Baba is punching me from this side, and these kids are also hard on me from this side. But what I know is that the moment people start growing up, they learn to appreciate their mothers, they learn to appreciate their parents, they learn to know that you must be told off. In fact, many families where parents are a little strict, you find that the children are more disciplined. That is from my experience. Maybe it's that experience because I am from the slums where there are so many challenges. There's a lot of negative peer influence where parents must be strict. So I've not been a very polite parent, but I've been able to walk with my kids to where they are today.
All right. And you could say as a mother, you can take pride to where your kids are today. Yes,
I'm very proud of my kids. I'm really proud of my kids, and I continue praying for them every day, and I hope they'll continue, being good kids. And I really appreciate that, we talk. Once in a while, we are able to sit down and talk, and I'm able to ask them that, where am I going wrong? They tell me, what, mom? Here and here and here, I don't appreciate the way you do this. And, with that, we are able to learn. So there are times that I'm that full-time disciplinarian, and there are times that I'm that very wonderful, friend.
And you'll be telling us, how do you, when do you say, I think right now I need to be an authoritarian, and when do you say, I think I can give them a little freedom? When do they enjoy having mom around them? All right, Fanice, you have 3 children.
Yeah.
After your husband unfortunately passed on, how was it like now having to raise your kids singly,
It was tough.
Yes.
But because I had the church beside me, and Jen was also
you know each other for years.
Yeah, we've known each other for very many years.
Our firstborns are friends.
Our friends.
So we met when our babies were in nursery school.
All right, that's interesting. And then here you are today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was tough. So I could sometimes cry, but then you consult maybe your pastor, your fellow women. Yeah.
And maybe
It's
you could tell us now, maybe your relationship with the kids. Did they have so many questions? Did you have to step up as their father? Like, did it affect your relationship with your kids somehow? Because now you are the only person they are looking up to. There's no father, right, at that particular moment. What were the challenges that you had to go through, especially with your kids?
The challenge was that, they were not all that they were not very young kids. Yeah,
right.
They were teenagers. So I could call them time and again to do follow up with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me now speak with you, David.
Yes.
husband to marry.
Yes.
And she has told us when she got to know her status.
Yeah.
When you met her, just tell us how you met her and how did she reveal to you her status and how you took it?
We met in 2009 in Kisumu. I was staying in a place called Nyamasaria with my auntie. So when we met, we talked, and she told me about her status after some few days. Then from there, because I was ready to marry, I was looking for a wife. So she told me she's young and to her status. So nikaona tu tuende kwa wazazi wake juu ana wazazi. She only had a grandmother. To mother, not to father. So we went there and we talked with our sisters. After knowing her status, nikamwambia ni sawa, hiyo si mwisho wa maisha. Nilikuwa mkubwa kiasi kumliko. I was about 24 to 5 years. Yeah.
Then you started your relationship.
Yeah, we started a relationship.
And that time, let me just stay with you. That time, like she said before, there was a lot of stigma, and there still is a lot of stigma for people living with HIV. And when you say you're living with HIV, most of the time, that relationship will not remain.
Yeah.
What made you really stick around and say, si mwisho wa maisha? Did you maybe get some awareness on how you can live together, or what exactly was going through your mind?
Back there, I was working with the CDC Kemri.
Okay.
Here in Nairobi. So I know a lot about AIDS. I used to talk with this guy called Joel Odonde. He told me a lot about that. So I said that was not the end of life. Yeah.
And that was really a bold move that you... Just give her them. Now, let me ask you, Mary, after, I know when you broke the news to him, you expected him to run away because of the stigma that there is. But now when he said, hiyo sio mwisho wa maisha, I know you are like, oh my God. So now he's agreed. Were you ready for that particular response from David?
No.
I know you were not ready. So what did you do after that?
Yeah.
Ulifanya nini pole?
Hiyo wakati umejua saa ilikuwa nile kukuwa na uoga, kutotaka kuongea na wanaume because ya hiyo kitendo yenye ilinitendekea ya rape. Nikajiuliza men they're just the same. So hata mwanaume angeniongelesha, nilikuwa nikimwongelesha, nilikuwa nikimjibu anyhow. So nilikuwa nikimwambia hivyo ndio stop kunisumbua, kuniongelesha, aniwache tu nikaa hivyo. Na nikaona tu ametia tu bidii. Yeah, because ilipataka nilikuwa nakaa na msichana mwingine pia. So huyo msichana pia alikuwa anafanya kwa NGO called Tungani Kisumu, na alikuanga pia ananipea mawaidha. Sometime akienda field work ananiambia twende uone wenye wako kama wewe. So venye alikuja akani approach, nikasema huyu naye anataka nini kwangu? So nikamwambia hapana, mimi siwezi shiriki ngono na wewe. Ati kwa nini? Nikamwambia siwezi. Nikaenda first time. Second time nikamwambia nitakwambia. Third time nikamuuliza, do you know your status? Nikaniambia yes. Nikamuuliza ulipimwa uko aje? Ati negative. Mi nikatoka, nikasema simwambi. Na alikuwa tu ananisumbua tu bado, nikasema nini mbaya na huyu mtu. So nikakuja nikamwambia. Hakuamini because hata sikuwa na ile signs and symptoms ati yenye inaweza fanya ati mtu ajue. So nikamwambia mimi ukitaka tufanye urafiki lazima tupimwe nidhibitishe uko negative. Because singependa nimwambukize venye pia mimi nilifanyiwa. Because hata mimi sikuitarajia. Na hiyo ndio kitu yenye huwa mimi huambia watu si mzuri hata kidogo. Si kazi rahisi kumeza dawa. Na hata saa hii kuna wenye bado hawajaamini. Yeah.
Nitarudi kwako David, but let me now talk to you Fanice. Maybe as now raising up your kids, did you somehow realize any difference when your husband was with you and after your husband passed on? Was there like somehow like a burden? Did you experience some things that you'd say, I wish he was still around? How was it like for you?
Yeah, ilikuwa vigumu sababu si unajua watoto walikuwa wako shule, school fees inatakikana. Kuna ni mimi peke yangu siwezi kuraise nifikie pale ilikuwa inafikia. Rent inatakikana kulipwa. Jua kali yenye unafanya ifikie hapo. Ilikuwa shida sana. Yeah.
Labda, what are some of the things ambazo kwa sababu now you had to step in and pay the rent, you had to step in and look for school fees for your kids, you had to ensure they are in school. Maybe what is one thing that you can remember, a memorable thing that you did and you're like, if my husband was still around, he could be the one doing this for me and not me doing that for the kids and for the family?
Okay. Ile naweza kumbuka ni kwamba kuna mtu alikuwa amechukua shamba nyumbani. Analima bila idhini. Ndio nilijutia kabisa.
Amechukua shamba lenu?
Analima.
Okay.
Bila sisi kumkubalia. Analima tu.
Okay. Jen, you mentioned something very interesting. You are saying that especially when children are young, they really don't like their moms a lot, but when they grow up is when they come and begin appreciating them. What are some of the adjustments to motherhood? Maybe I may ask you, is every child the same, or do you have to keep on changing your firstborn behavior and the secondborn? Is there really an ideal way of motherhood, or is it different with the kids? Maybe how would you explain motherhood journey is like?
A motherhood journey is, somehow it's natural. Those things that we just accept, whether they're tough or not, because there's nowhere to run to. So children somehow are different, but it depends on understanding them and learning how to handle them. There are children who will, just let go. There are children whom you can force to do things, like you can insist. I said wash these things, and they wash. And there are others who will insist, and that will bring a bit of friction. So it's very important for parents to understand that, if there is that negativity, then don't force it too much. Because if you, get a better way of communicating. Because if you start fighting, or if there's that problem in between, then at times it's very hard to reverse. And maybe by the time you guys are solving this, then it's a little late. So children are different, and that is where it's also very tough. Parenthood is a bit tough, because it's your duty to understand each one of them and learn how to handle them, so that they also don't feel that there's someone who is being favored. So it's not that easy, but just like there are so many things that are not easy. Going to work, waking up every day, there's so many things that are not easy. But we learn to live with them, we learn to take them normally, because we have to live like that. There are things that we can't run away from.
All right. Now let me get back to David, because you're the one with the microphone. Let me assume you pursued her, you went ahead and got married. But you had, at least you told me you had a few some information on how to live together with someone who is positive. Now, just help our viewers understand when, for example, you like this girl and she tells you she is positive, maybe just help them with the same information on how do you go about planning on now getting children? How is that possible? Because that's the biggest dilemma for many out here.
Kitu ya kwanza,
yes.
Staying with somebody with AIDS, first of all, kama ushajua nini yake, inaitwaje?
Hali yake.
Si hali.
Status.
No.
Okay, sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, well, Lord.
Okay.
Ukishajua hiyo, kuna ile dawa utaambiwa utakuwa ukimeza daily, same to her. Na for her, she has been using drugs for many years. Na ikienda for 6 months bila kuiwacha hata siku moja, inapunguza ile ukalia nini ya AIDS. So it is not easy for you to get it easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And Mary, let me get back to you. Now, your status, you know your status, you've gotten married to David. Now, kids coming, you know. How many kids do you have first? Remind me.
2.
You have 2.
Yeah.
Now, how old maybe? Are they big enough to be
My
watching
first-
right now?
No, my
Okay.
firstborn is 6 years. She's almost 7 years, but the second one is still young, 5 months.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, being a mother and at the same time, you are, let me say a special mother, you are living with, you know, HIV. How was it like for you with your firstborn, with your secondborn? You know, maybe you could tell us some of the challenges that you've gone through with your condition, and then at the same time now you have kids with you.
Oh, okay. Zile challenges za kwanza zenye nilikuwa nazo ilikuwa venye nilipata mtoto wangu wa kwanza. Venye nilijifungua tu vizuri. Then venye mtoto alifika 6 months, I think okay, me I can call it like a devil was working somehow, because venye venye mtoto alifika 6 months tuliseparate kidogo na David. So venye tuliseparate ilinipatia mawazo sana. Hadi hapo pia nilijaribu kujiua tena. But nikarudi nikatafuta Mungu, nikasema no. What I'm doing nothing. David anaendelea na maisha yake. Kama alikuwa wangu atarudi. Yeah. But tulikuanga tuna communicate. So tukakaa hivyo like 6 years. Kama tukuwa pamoja. By the grace of God, alirudi. Na kitu ya kwanza yenye nilimuuliza, akinipigia simu, akinitafuta. Bado niko tu positive. Ni nini nimefanya tena unitafute? Chenye alinijibu aliniambia, enyewe sahi dunia huwezi jua mtu ako positive na mtu ako negative by doing what we call IVCT, kipimo ya macho. So akaniambia, better the devil you know than the angel you don't know. We venye tu nilikupata ya kwanza uliniambia hali yako. So nikaona tu turudiane. Hiyo ndio maana huwa naambia wasichana sana, ukipatana na mtu, first thing ambia mtu hali yako, hata kabla mfanye chochote. Hiyo ndio kitu ya maana ya kwanza. So kama ni mtu anakupenda, ataendelea tu kukupenda. Lakini kama mtu akupendi, hata umfiche, alafu akuje ajue, itakuwa so bad. Hautapenda. Ndio maana unapata siku hizi sana, unapata wasichana wanauliwa. Sisi kama wananchi tunafikiria ati wengine wanauliwa, ameiba or whatever. Kama wale wasichana wa street, unapata mtu ameuliwa nini. So kama sisi huwa tunadhani juu venye wanafanya hiyo kazi ya kujiuza, maybe mtu, unaona. Lakini unapata maybe alishiriki ngono na mtu bila kinga na kuambia mtu hali yake, na mtu akakuja akajua ni wewe na ni wewe umeniambukiza. Wengine hufanya kitendo ya kuua na wengine hufuata sheria. So ni mzuri sana waambie mtu hali yako in the first place. Yeah, nimepitia a lot. Lakini nashukuru Mungu. Na bado nazidi kuomba atarekebika kabisa, na atajua bado tutaongeza miaka zingine. Yeah.
Okay. Let me give David some time to rest once. Some time to rest, and then nitakuwa nakuuliza swali because it's an interesting conversation we are having. But for you, Fanice, maybe you talk to women out there. We have a group of single women for different reasons. Some, their husbands passed on, just like your case. Others, it was separation and divorce. They are all raising their kids all alone right now. Maybe you would speak, they're going through so much right now, just the way you said you had to go through. Maybe what kind of advice would you have to them, imagining that some of them are at the verge of giving up and saying, I can't do this all alone?
Kile naweza kuambia ni kwamba waamini Mungu, na watoto wako nao wawale, wafundishe tabia mzuri, nidhamu na sheria na kujitunza.
They don't give up on their kids.
They should not. Once umeshazaa, we ni mama milele mpaka siku ile utakufa. Hata ukiwawacha we ni mama, we ndio mama ya wale watoto wabaya. So cha muhimu, lea watoto yako, wafundishe adabu mzuri na wamjue Mungu.
Yes.
Only that.
Yes.
They should not give up on them.
Okay. Jen, they always discuss out here and say mothers are special, and there's always a debate on even men. Mbona hakuna Men's Day or Father's Day or that. But why would you say, and I'll be talking to David as well because he's a man, somehow you'll not be biased if we all are as women. But why do they say that mothers are special? Is it the act of birth and accepting to, carry the pregnancy to term and give birth? Or why would you say like a mother is special, whether she's gone to school or not? But what is this special attribute about mothers that no one can take that place?
Mothers are very special. They have that very special bond with the children, and it comes so naturally. You would take a mad woman's baby, I don't know at what cost. I don't know what you'll do to her first for you to be able to take the baby away. And something just happens when a mother is away and the baby is somehow cold at home. She's feeling something. When the baby is hungry, the mother is feeling something. So there's just that special bond. And you find that, when people are running, mostly women are left behind because they try to carry their babies. And at home, you'll find that mother will make sure that the babies and the father eats before she eats. And somehow it comes naturally as well. So I think it's the way God created us. It just comes naturally.
Yes.
A mother will always just feel that, you're not separating me from my baby. It's like part of her. So that is what makes mothers very
There's another
special
attribute, Jen, where you raise up your kids and some of them don't grow up to turn out to be the way you would wish them to be. We have some abusing drugs out here. We have some who just really irresponsible. And most people say there's this Swahili term that mtoto umleavyo ndivyo akuavyo. Should we be blaming this on the mothers, or is it just an unfortunate
Somehow I refuse to blame it on the mothers. A parent will always do their best. I know their parents, we have so many challenges as well. So there are people who are not in their right senses at some point, and maybe there's also the aspect of peer influence. So that bad things can happen, yes. And we also have parents who hurt their children. And you know, the bottom line, you know, whatever they're doing, at the end of the day, what they're looking at is like, maybe if I do this, he's going to be a better person. So they sleep, yes, but the parents are not to blame. And the way the society is, you'd never bring up your child your own style. I know there are places where people live in isolation and they're able to say like, now this is our own world. But a place like, you know, where I come from, the slums, Kibera, is like you share everything. You share the roof, you share the music, you share the conversations, you even smell the food that the neighbor is cooking. You know, you listen to the language they use in their houses. So at some point it's somehow, you know, I don't want to say off your hands, because you still have time with your children to talk to them. And that is when you have to be their friends, for you to be able to know whatever they are learning and whatever they're not learning, so that you're able to bring them to the right path. So it's not like umleavyo, nani anamlea, who is this person who is layering your kid? It is not really you who is layering your kid. Every parent wants the best for their children. Right. You know, I was having a conversation with some girls the other day, and you know, they were like, you know, mom is always sending me away. She's telling me, you know, anytime I get home late, she tells me, like, you know, Rudi penye umetoka. So when I come back, she beats me up. So what does she want? And so the truth is, mom is mad enough to tell you go back to where you're coming from. But you don't go. Yes. You don't go. You just stay somewhere around there, because if you go, you're like, you know, you're now like rebelling. And you know, she doesn't sleep. She's still thinking of you. Where is she? So the best thing is just to stay around and just ask mommy for what? For forgiveness. Okay. Because she doesn't mean it when she's doing those things that you think are very tough on you. Yes. Yeah.
David, you have a case to answer, but I'll not I'll not force you to talk about it. But what would you say you celebrate your wife as the mother of your kids? How do you celebrate her? Because at the end of the day, we thank God you are still together, and she is the mother of your children. Yes. So how do you celebrate Mary today?
Mary is a hero.
Okay, tell us more.
So, about Mary.
She's the mother to your children. Today is Mother's Day. Say something.
I love her. Yeah, I love her so much. Yeah.
Okay, I think that is
a little word for David. David, Mary doesn't have AIDS. Yeah. Mary is living with HIV/AIDS. Yes. Mary, in fact, I love the Kiswahili definition. Ukosefu wa kinga mwilini. So ana kinga mwilini. Kama mimi vile niko, mimi sikai kwa baridi. Niko na cold allergy. So sasa yeye ana hiyo kinga ya hayo magonjwa mengine. Na mimi mwili yangu haina kinga ya baridi. So saa zile nyinyi mmejiwacha mnatembea tu, mimi utakuta hata pale utapata ya kwamba niko na jackets mbili. Kwa sababu nisipozivaa nafanya nini? Nafungana kifua. So same to her, akisikia tu ako mgonjwa kidogo, asifikiri nifanye hivi, afanye nini? Atafute matibabu. So ana AIDS. Amekosa tu kinga mwilini. Si ndio? So and she is very healthy. Yes. She is very okay. Na vile unasema ni kwamba kuna wakati sasa hizo viruses hazikui detected. Zinakuwa undetectable completely. LDL. So and she's better than many people who are just suspecting. You said ulitaje? I what?
I visit.
Yes. So many of us are like psychologically infected because people are they're just imagining that I'm supposed to be fine, but they don't go. So she's far much better placed than many people you know.
All right. I think we need to have yet another discussion on widowhood, on discordant couples, and once again do this show, because time is not on our side. But just before we wind up, Tito, you're saying Purity, Huyo, madam ambaye ana live na HIV na mme wake ni real shujaz. That's from Tito. That is what Tito is saying. Then let me read one more. Geoffrey Eka Siba, you're saying, I celebrate my mother, Sabensia Atiang from Lumakanga, Kakamega, and Joyce Tangus from Kabati, Kitui. Happy Mother's Day to them. All right. And one last more. I am celebrating, that's Brian Okech Amwai. I am celebrating my mother, an epitome of strength. She deserves to be celebrated for the role she played and continues to play in ensuring I'm a responsible person I am today. My heart full of love, all pouring in her direction on this day. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'll have you again, I promise, at this show. And we talk more about these issues. There was something you wanted to say before we wind up? Kuna kitu uliniambia you want to say? There was a request you wanted to make?
Yeah, niko na ombi. Tuko na mtoto Kenyatta Hospital na ni wa kanisa yetu na amekosa damu. Sasa ningeomba mtu yote mwenye akona blood group O negative anazaenda kumsaidia kutoa damu aweze kupata uhai tena.
Okay, maybe ni O positive, maybe unaweza peana namba yako ya simu, mtu anaweza akakupigia for more information.
Okay, namba yangu ya simu ni 0711 617 852.
Okay. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful time spending this Mother's Day with you ladies and you, David. Thank you so much. And that's all the time we had for our show tonight. It has been great having you take your time and join us here on Family Matters this Mother's Day, a special really episode for all the mothers and everyone celebrating their mother out there. My name is Purity Museo. Do have yourself a lovely night and God bless.